Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in again. In today's video, we're going to be doing a little repair on the Frontier here. If you've been following along for a while, you probably know what we did. If you're new, what happened is we were going through a couple water crossings, and this 100% my own fault, but one of them was a lot deeper than it looked, and right smack dab in the middle was a big old boulder. And what I ended up doing is we pretty much hit that boulder straight on with the truck, and you can see the Factor 55 fair lead took most of the brunt, and of course it got a little bit of the skid plate underneath. I'm not too worried about that, but what happened is the fair lead here, if you look, took a couple chunks. So basically this thing's pretty sturdy. It took pretty much the full brunt of the truck into that boulder and only has a couple little scratches and ripped out the rubber. That's one of the things we're going to be changing. But the big one is we're going to change out the worn fair lead to a Factor 55 one that I picked up. The reason being, Factor 55, yes, their stuff is pricey, but like I just mentioned, this piece took the brunt of the truck and all that happened was a little bit of scratches and the rubber fell off. So if it's that tough in that case, then if something like this was to ever happen again, hopefully, like these worn ones are just painted, you won't get some big ugly chunks out of it like that. So I'll show you exactly what it looks like, and then we'll get it on the truck and see how it looks. All right, so we got two parts here. These, you can actually order them straight off Amazon, which was surprising. This is what you're looking for, and they're basically just replacement rubber caps for the hook on the front, and you just push them in. It's just all rubber. Clicks in the holes you see in there. I'll show you that in a minute. And then the big one here is their fair lead. They make a couple different versions of this. You can see by the photos on the front, depending what kind you want. They do make two different kinds, offset, or you can see the 1.0 to 1.5. So keep in mind, you're looking for, if you want this specific one, is 00016. So that's the 1.0, which basically means this is 1 inch up and down. And like I mentioned, yes, they are pricey, but if it's built anything like the hook on the front of the truck, it's got some strength to it. So when I'm out having fun, if I mess up again and I hit this, hopefully it's just a scratch instead of a big gouge, because of course, if we're going to use the winch, it's got the synthetic line, and any burrs or anything along there, that's a big no-no. You're going to fray the line right away, possibly break it, and you're going to have way more of a pain in the butt later on trying to fix that. So we're going to get this on the truck, but first things first, we'll pull out the core or the line a little bit, undo the bolts, and then we'll move on from there. All right, so first thing, obviously you need to get the line out, and now you can see in there what the damage is that I was talking about. You don't want a synthetic line going in and out and rubbing on something like that. So to get the fair lead off, of course, we need to get the flat link out of the way, which inside has one of those little split pin washers or whatever the heck they're called. I forget exactly. Get that out, and this pin basically falls right off, and then the line is free and will fit in between there. So first things first, get yourself a pair of these pliers. Mine are actually broken. They go the wrong way around, but they still work. You just got to mess with it a little bit, and that pin or the little washer in there pops right out. So now that it's off the truck, you can see the damage on here. It does have a couple scuffs. The corners are a little bit bashed up, but again, this thing took the brunt of the entire truck into a rock, and it did not move. It wasn't like the rock rolled forward or anything. It was just a crunch. Came to a stop, and this is all that is damaged on the thing. So it's fairly light for what it is, but obviously they're built to last, and this thing can take a punch. All right, so last step for the flat link portion, got to get all the broken little rubber tabs out. So do that. What I did is hit it with a file just to get the rough, scruffy edges off, and then pop the new rubber in just like that. And basically all you got to do, line up the holes and push. You do have to give it quite a bit of pressure to get it in there, but it does pop in just like that. Go all the way around. Like I said, they're in there. You got to push I don't know if you guys could hear it, but it just kind of clicks, and you'll see it's up like that a little bit still. Once it's all in, just kind of wiggle it back and forth, and you can see it'll go flat. So last one in here, and then we can get the fair lead on. All right, so just like that, fair lead is off. Keep in mind, if you have a fair lead already, obviously you can reuse the bolts. These ones came with the worn winch, which also came with this worn fair lead. But if you buy the Factor 55 one for an upgrade, it does not come with bolts. So you can reuse the bolts. If you're buying this thing to go on something that does not have one yet, you're going to have to pick yourself up some bolts. So just keep that in mind. So we can get this on there now. I'm going to reuse the bolts. Again, if you have the worn one, the nut is a 19, the bolt is an 18. I don't know why they did that, but that is what it is. So we'll get this back on the truck, bolt it all back together, and see how she looks. And just like that, she is all fixed up, looking good as new, looking better than new. And so now that the flat link will match the fair lead, everything looks cool. It'll be a lot tougher than what was on there, I hope. I'm hoping not to go and crash into any more rocks, but you never know, stuff happens. I don't really pay too much attention while I'm out there. I'm out having fun. If we damage some stuff, oh well. And again, your part number is made or right on the front there, 00016 if you want this exact one. As you can see, they are made in the USA, so easy to get here in Canada and the States, of course. And as for the skid plate, if you want to see something else under there, we do have the CBI covert bumper. If that's what you're wondering, I've got videos on all the installs for this stuff too. So what I'm thinking, I'm not sure if I'll get the whole skid plate set for underneath, but I'd like to get the front. Not only will it replace the one that's now bent, but again, it's going to be tougher and it'll match the bumper here. So if you want to see that, drop a comment down below. I'll see what I can do. Maybe we'll get that in the near future. And hopefully you like this video. Stay tuned for more. Go back, check out all the other stuff we got on this truck. There's plenty out there now. And hopefully we catch you in another one. Thanks for watching, everybody.